Hey everybody, welcome to our 502nd episode of Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie, and my good friend John Horn. He has been on before and was such an amazing guest. He's back, so make sure and share this. Tell your friends, tag them. Here we go. Do you want to know how amazing people connect? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie.
Thanks for connecting. And if you like what you hear, please share.
Hey everybody, welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie. I am so glad you're here today. Oh my goodness, so excited. This is my 502nd episode of Marketing with Russ, and it was just a week ago that we were doing the 500th celebration, the 500th episode. So I am so blessed that you're here today. We're going to do a quick change while this is like on the fly. We're always doing things on the fly. Let's change our lighting a little bit today because you'd think I'd have that down by now. Anyway, there we go. All right. So happy to have John Horn on again today. Man, I'm telling you, it's going to be good. So make sure to let people know if they have not heard about this today, or they're just forgetting because they're so busy. Share it out there. Tag your friends. Tell them, guess what? John is coming on Marketing with Russ. You do not want to miss it. And you know what? This show is all about amazing people. It's all about how amazing people connect. And John is definitely one of those people. And so we're going to talk more about we just pick our conversation up from last time. But you know what? I love to connect. And you can reach me at russhedge.com. That's right. russhedge.com is the place to go for all the information about me. Whether you want to connect with me on social media, by email, by phone number, you can even schedule time directly on my calendar to connect with me in Zoom. I would love for you to do that. And John and I were able to do that. We got connected, we got to know each other, and here he's been on the show now twice. So maybe that will lead to you being on the show at some point. Who knows? So anyway, usually I pick from my amazing friends, and I obviously have a lot of amazing friends to be on this show. So also would love for you to join our YouTube community. You know, it's growing, becoming more bigger and bigger all the time. And I would love for you to go there. The easiest way to get there is to go to marketingwithruss.live. You know the name of this show, you can get to my YouTube link, marketingwithruss.live. So I keep it simple. All the information about me, russhedge.com, just my name. Get to my YouTube page, just know the name of this show, and you're all good to go. All right. And don't forget, as I said before, please share and tag your friends. I would really, really appreciate that if you did. You know, it makes an amazing difference because we all get so busy. We all are moving and sometimes a little bit too much. So by helping jog people's memories, I really appreciate that. When I have friends say, hey, guess what? Now's the time. Today's the day. The show is on. And then if I'm available, I zip over and try to support them. So yes, anyway, so thankful for you letting people know. So anyway, I wanted to also let you know that we start on live stream like this. It converts to video podcast. It'll sit on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook forever. You can go back and watch it there. Or you can listen to it on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, whatever your favorite podcast platform is. If you don't have time to watch the video, you can listen to it. So many opportunities to do that. And I'm just so thankful for all of you. Also, don't forget, If you haven't got your copy of Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose, I'd love for you to pick up a copy today. And guess what? You can get that at russhedge.com, or my other four anthology collaborative books. Amazing. Some of those have a little bit about my cancer journey in them. And so I would pick one of those up today. You can get it on Amazon or any online bookseller, but you can also go straight to my website. And I have my latest book. I'm working on it right now. The plan is to get it out this fall, and it's looking good so far. So we're getting it moving in the right direction. So today, don't forget, every Monday and Thursday, we do our marketing tip of the day. So we're going to do that here before we get going. This gets cut out separately, put on YouTube Shorts, put on social media separately, so you can share it with your friends and just encourage them. Sometimes people think, well, what in the world does that have to do with marketing? Well, all of these are life-based issues or life-based points that I think will help you, encouragement, inspiration, help you be a better person, help you be a better marketer, help you be a better business person. And sometimes just help to be a better friend. There you go. So are you ready? Okay, here we go. This is your marketing tip of the day. Just do the next dumb thing. What is that? Just do the next dumb thing. Well, you know what? My favorite journalism professor at Oregon State University back in the 80s told us when we had writer's block, just do the next dumb thing. Just start writing, do something. It'll pull you out of your funk, out of the negative mindset that you're in. And guess what? That happens with life. When you're struggling, when you're trying to move forward and you just feel like you can't, just do the next dumb thing. What does that mean? You don't have to give it a lot of thought. Just do something. Forward motion, one step after the other. You don't have to see the whole staircase. You just have to see the next step. Take a step, do something. What it will do is it will work you into a more positive mindset, a more positive perspective in your life. Motion and activity helps in all that you do. So take that next step, move forward, and just do the next dumb thing. And that is your marketing tip of the day. All right, there you go. So we got our marketing tip done. That will get cut out, like I said, put on YouTube Shorts, social media, all that. Would love for you to share that. And now let's get John in the show. Here we go. Hey, John.
Hey, Russ, how's it going?
Good, man. Great to see you again. And I appreciate you taking time today. I tell you, like I said, a week ago we were doing 500 episodes, and today we're already at 502, moving to our second 500. We'll be at 1,000 before you know it. So anyway, hey,
That's
give everybody that missed the first round, John, a little snippet about who is John Horn. What are you up to?
Yeah, so I help companies. My agency help companies with basically all their digital marketing. So making sure that they're finding new business online, connecting with customers, platforms like Google Ads, which we'll probably talk about today, as well as other things like SEO and email marketing and so forth. Basically, wherever you need to find customers online, we're here to help navigate that journey with you together.
Well, John, I love that because there's so much need for that. And we had some really good discussion again about sometimes people just don't know where to go. So like my marketing tip of the day, just do the next dumb thing. Sometimes people have no idea what the next thing is. And sometimes that next thing that maybe isn't quite so dumb is hiring somebody like you to give them insight. So where do you start with somebody that's like completely befuddled and they have no idea what to do?
Yeah, first place we want to start there is really trying to help clear up some of that befuddlement even before we get really specifically into advertising side of things. We want to talk through what are your goals and what are you trying to accomplish. I know this is something you help businesses and people think through to a great extent, but something we see often is businesses will try and go do something. Could be a marketing channel, it could be Google Ads, whatever. And they just don't really know what it is they want to accomplish. So you got to have those initial kind of foundational, hey, what does success look like? How are we going to track that? And then we can figure out if this might be the right channel for you, or hey, maybe you're not ready for it yet. Maybe this is 6 months, 12 months down the road, something like that.
Yeah, and what I love about that too. So again, referring back to my statement, just do the next dumb thing. So if you haven't figured out what your purpose or your intentions are, somebody like John can help trigger things that will help you move in a positive direction. So I come to you, John, and I say, because I'm all about intentionality and moving in a positive direction and trying to do things that really matter. But I'm just in one of those modes, man. I am befuddled and I cannot move out of it. And I come to you and I say, how can you help me really zone in on what's going to work best for me? Where do you start there?
So there's a couple different places we can start, but often one of the places we'll start is let's look at what's working for you currently. So for example, let's say you are, let's just pick an example. Let's say you're a CPA and you are helping people with their taxes. You want to get more leads, get more clients. So there obviously are lots of different types of businesses and people who need CPAs. And if we look at who you're working with currently, we'll probably find some patterns, find a little bit of a sweet spot of who is your ideal customer. Let's say, for example, and this is an example I've used before, but let's say that you're working with a bunch of real estate investors and you're like, you know what? I figured out a lot of things about real estate investors and what they need in tax preparation. Great. Well, now we can kind of take that and say, hey, we can create some customized messaging, customized landing pages, kind of make you into the expert on real estate investment taxes in your area. And now we have something that differentiates you from other people and something that you're really good at because you already have clients that are happy and you're working with them and you're making good money. And so then we've really clarified a place to start versus just, oh, I'm a CPA, I can work with anybody under the planet, which is really hard as a starting place for marketing.
Yeah, here's what I love about that too. Celebrate your wins. Celebrate the good things you're doing. Look at, and I actually have done this exact same thing. So I took your advice even before I heard it. I look at the things, what am I doing well? And how can I build on those? How can I then take a look at some of the areas that I'm weaker at and suffering a little bit? And how can I improve on that? And a lot of times it's bringing in somebody that really makes up for our weaknesses, right? Because we struggle a lot of times. We struggle to work in certain areas that are just not our calling. So I may be a great connector, community builder, great at helping people with their marketing and coaching and consulting and all that. But man, if you want financial advice for your business, that is not for me. And so a lot of times, you know what? I need people to fill in those gaps. And I think that's so true of social media, which is really confusing to people. So true of Google, which is even more confusing to people sometimes. All the algorithms are changing constantly. And sometimes I think it's just not worth it. Why is it worth it to really hone in and find what I need?
Yeah, you gotta have that focus because there are, how should I put it? The marketing platforms available these days, the big ones are very mature. So if we're talking about Google, for example, Google is not a secret. Everybody in the business world who's trying to acquire customers knows that Google is where most people go to find answers to their problems, to find services, products to purchase, etc. And so that means there is a lot of competition for every type of traffic on there. Everybody's kind of fighting for it. And so if you as a business kind of take this approach of, well, hey, I do all these different things. I do this service and this service and this service and so forth. And I want to advertise all of it. What often ends up happening is you do a little bit of this, market this a little bit, throw a few dollars here, throw a few dollars there. And then you wake up a couple months later and you say, well, I don't really know what's working, what's not working. I didn't spend a ton of money on everything, but across everything combined, I spent a bunch of money, but I don't have enough data to be like, okay, well, is this service connecting with people or not? And then you kind of realize, oh, I just wasted a bunch of time, wasted a bunch of money. Whereas if you'd been more strategic and said, okay, let's really focus on what you do well and what differentiates you from some of those other competitors that are very noisy in the marketplace. And let's hone in our messaging and our target on a very specific audience, then you can make your dollars go much farther. You can collect the data that you need and see if you can get profitable leads, get profitable sales, and if there's really some legs for that particular platform that you're testing.
Right. I call that marketing and advertising by accident. People that have a dartboard and they just throw darts at it and they think that try a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but they don't really know if it works for them, if it's their target market, like you're talking about. So we're going to hold right there and we're going to pick that up. But first, I want to remind everybody that this amazing platform that we're all able to broadcast on, live streaming and podcasting and advertising and marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Help You, by the way, takes money to do, and we take support of others. So besides having a great team that works with me and my amazing teammate Ever in the background doing so many amazing, great things, we are supported by sponsors. And I forgot to give them a thank you, and I want to do that. So, Jeff Mills of State Farm Insurance, Sugar Vibes, which is an amazing donut place in Lebanon, Oregon, Ironhead Roofing in the Willamette Valley. They do a grazing, amazing roofing. So, please connect with them today. And you can go to jeffmillsinsurance.com for him. You can give Sugar Vibes a call or go to Sugar Vibes Donuts on Instagram or Facebook. And ironheadroofing.com is the way to get up Ironhead. And they will, all of those connection links you can click on, they will be available for you in the show notes and also in the comments. Also, this program is listener supported. Look for those links if you want to support the program and reach out. I can call it a ministry because we bring such amazing people of value like John on. And so if you're interested in that, you can find that information as well. John, let's pick it up there at the advertising by accident and marketing by accident. Sometimes people are looking at what works really good for somebody else and they figure out, that's probably going to work for me. Well, maybe not. Kind of like I kind of put this right along with, I'm going through a cancer battle, right? Not to bring sympathy on me, everybody, but everybody has their cure all, fix all. This is going to work for you. All things don't work for every people. Some great cures and great medicines work good for some people, not so good for other people. Same thing is true for advertising and marketing. I could advertise on TikTok all day long, but none of the community that I'm trying to reach, for the most part, is there. So that is not really where I need to be. I don't need to market and advertise into something that's not really my ideal client. So sometimes people get confused by these platforms and really know where to search for their ideal client, and you help guide them in that, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's an excellent point because, and this is something that happens often to us, is one of our clients or business will come to us and they'll be like, okay, well, hey, this is working for these guys, so we just want to do exactly what they're doing. And just like you mentioned, every human body is different. Well, every business is different as well. And every business has a different level of maturity in terms of how aware people are of it, what their online reputation looks like, what their processes are for what they're doing with leads, even what their goals are for profit. You might have one business that's like, hey, 10% profit margin is fine, so I'm going to throw a ton of money into advertising here. And then this business over here is like, no, I'm trying to get a 40% margin. Well, guess what? You're not going to be able to get that and also get the amount of exposure that the company number one is going after. And so really what we want to do is focus less on what the competition does and more upon, again, what makes your business unique and what are your numbers, what are your goals, and then how do we accomplish those? And so we'll think through things like, okay, what is your target audience and where do they spend their time and how do they search for solutions to what you provide? So for some businesses, they provide solutions that people are actively searching for. Let's take, plumber as an example. When my sink breaks, my toilet breaks, I'm going to go probably search on Google for a plumber and get somebody right now. I'm not going to go pull up Facebook and scroll through my feed and say, oh, cool, plumber, let me engage with them. And so for that type of business, you got to be where people are searching and answer them in that context. Whereas you might have another business, let's say you have, a clothing business and you are selling this really cool line of clothing. And, it's very visual and people see it and they're like, oh, okay, this looks amazing. I want to check this out. Well, Google is probably not going to be the place you want to be because people aren't actively searching for what you have right now. You need to be making them aware of that through channels like Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, things like that. And of course, you need to be customizing your approach there to the demographics, the age range, the people you're going after, so that you are, again, getting the most bang for your buck in terms of your marketing, and you're spending your focus, your attention, your money on the people who matter to you in the ways that they might find information about you or might be searching or not searching for you.
So I love that. And I want to go back to Google again because I agree 100% with what you just said. And you know way more about this than I do because this is not my expertise. But one thing I think, and this is what I want your opinion on, everybody should have a certain level of Google. And what I mean by that is there is a Google business site out there free, just waiting for you to grab it. There is some basic information that you can get in. So when people do a Google search, they will find you that you can do for free that you don't need to spend a lot of time on. I think everybody needs that because, for example, you're spending your information on your money and your time on Instagram or TikTok, trying to get visual to younger people, right? And you're doing that, they're getting that, but then a lot of times they'll go to Google to find the basic information out about you. Also, you can connect through Google and things to your website as well, which is always a plus, and that drives them directly to your website. That's another thing. So that's one question. The second question in there, I feel like you should always be driving people to your website too, because that gives you a platform. I always send people to russedge.com because it's got everything about me. All my links, all my contacts, all the information about it, all the live streams, the books, everything is right there in a simple one step, easy place. So Google and websites, talk about that.
Yeah. So to your first point, I'll kind of use an example of a client we're talking with right now, having this conversation, where they've created this really cool app that is in the App Store and people are downloading it and using it and so forth. But they don't have any web presence. They don't have a website about their app. And so what we're seeing happen often is, we're getting people who are interested in the ads we're running on Instagram and places like that for the app. But then if they go and search about this app, there's really nothing out there other than the App Store. And so there's no credibility. There's no, oh, okay, if I pay for this service, if I get a subscription to this app, am I actually going to get a good, get a good experience, get what my money's worth for it, things like that. And so we're encouraging them and saying, hey, you need to create a website. Even though in the app campaigns we're running, we're not sending people directly to your website. People are going to research you. They want to see what your reputation looks like. They want more context. And so that's a really important part of things. And then,
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
oh, I was just going to jump in and say, my beautiful wife is the queen of that. When she wants a place to go, she does research. She checks things online. She looks at their reviews. She finds out more information about them. If they don't look credible, then you don't go there. I mean, especially if you're looking at a business or let's say somewhere to stay. We're kind of doing some investigation of where we might want to go this summer as a family. And so she's looking into places to stay, things to go, and she looks at all of that online.
Absolutely. We're in a very sketchy world, for lack of a better word. And so you kind of have to, just to protect yourself and protect your devices and information and so forth. And I also very much agree with your comment about sending traffic to your website, trying to essentially control as much of the client relationship as possible, because the downside of all of these platforms, things like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Amazon, etc., they control the platform. They control your contact and communication with the audience that you're reaching, and they can change that at any time, and not even intentionally because they don't dislike you. It's just, hey, algorithms change all the time, and you see this constantly. YouTube channels, they're doing fantastic, and then something changes with the algorithm, and for whatever reason, their content isn't promoted as much, and then they start diving, and it is difficult because you do have to leverage those channels in order to get out to people, because I like to say we don't really live in a world of build it and they will come. If you just put your website out there, people aren't going to find it. You have to get in front of people where their attention is. But you should have a strategy for, okay, how am I going to turn this attention that I have through social media, YouTube, etc., into then a way to connect with people. So it's things, obvious strategies like, all right, well, here's free content on my website. Come check it out, download it, give me your email address in exchange for this free book or free lead magnet or whatever. And now you've got a direct relationship. And obviously, don't abuse that relationship. Continue to provide value to them. Start sending them, regular emails that they're actually going to appreciate and enjoy, and you start creating that relationship. And then the more people you can directly communicate with without having to worry about algorithm changes and, oh, Google suspended my account and things like that, the more sustainable you are as a business.
Yeah, so I love that information because it's so true. I mean, it is very confusing world. It is very confusing online for so many people. this is why, John, I'm so thankful for you and people like you that really, really have the information that people need. And listen, everybody, I want to tell you right now, you need to connect with John or somebody like John, but I'm recommending you connect with John. His contact information is all in the comments and in the show notes. You go right to him, get information from him, utilize his resources, and help you in that area. And I tell you, you'll be thankful that you did. So, John, as we wrap up, give everybody today's gold nugget, what you really want people to remember from what we discussed today, and remind everybody how to get in touch with you.
Control the relationship. Think through, how do I directly communicate with my customers, my prospects, without all the other fluff of channels, and you're going to be in a better spot. And then, as far as contact, our website, I'll put our website on there, stubgroup.com, best place to go. And hey, we eat our own dog food, so to speak. We've got some free resources on there. Go to stubgroup.com/free, bunch of free stuff you can download and get on our email newsletter. And we'd love to start, building that relationship directly with you.
Yeah, that is so awesome. Well, I am so thankful that you came back with us today, and your LinkedIn site has been ticking along the bottom, but all your other connection information again is in the comments and the show notes. And John, thank you so much again. We're definitely going to stay connected. I appreciate you, and always feel like you can reach out to me. I love to promote people that are doing great things like you.
Thanks, Russ, so much, and congrats on the over 500 episodes now. That is a very impressive feat.
I tell you, it's hard to believe. I have to believe it. We're at 502 today. Wow. So listen, thanks so much, and I'm going to say goodbye to you, but hang tight for just a second at the green room. I'll be right there. All right. Well, I tell you, everybody, I'm telling you, John is a great resource for you today. There's a lot of good people out there, but I'm telling you, he's definitely one of them, and one of the amazing people, great connector. So thankful that he and I got connected, and just want to remind you today, all of his information, again, has been ticking along the bottom. It's in the show notes. It's in the comments. Connect with him today, please. And appreciate you all connecting with me. Go to russhedge.com to connect with me today. Please subscribe on our YouTube page at marketingwithruss.live. Yes, there you go. And you can still share this and tag your friends even after we're done live. You know what? It's still on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook for you to share. And if you become part of the YouTube community, there's an amazing resource there. Over 500 episodes of amazing people that you can connect with. All their information is still there. All the information you need to connect with them and learn about them is there. So that will help you out. So thanks again. And I tell you, it's been a great one. Until next week, don't forget that we're here every Monday and Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time for your listening and viewing pleasure. Yes, we are. And we are listener supported. So don't forget to click on the QR code or click on the link if you'd like to give. And thank you to State Farm, Jeff Mills, Sugar Vibes Donuts, and Ironhead Roofing. All of their information is also in the comments and the show notes. Connect with them, our amazing sponsors. And until next week, have an amazing rest of your week. We'll talk to you soon. All right. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Be sure to subscribe in your favorite podcast app so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an amazing day.